Hey Taurus, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot, January 1st to the 15th, 2024. Happy New Year everybody. I want to wish you all the very best in 2024. And this is a general reading. Please keep that in mind. Just take messages that resonate for you, leave the rest behind. I do offer personal readings. If you're interested, you can contact me below. In the description box is my email address via Zoom readings. Taurus, January 1st to the 15th, 2023 is gone. Let's see what's headed for the new year for you guys. Okay, this is nice. Six of Wands, victory, success. Hopefully this month is starting off with some kind of feeling of success and headed in a good way. You know, you've overcome a lot this year, Taurus, or in the last little while, because that victory card is followed by the Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, which tells me that, like, you know, you've had some struggles that you've overcome. You know, you've learned a lot of lessons. You've realized even like who and what you can trust, or the things that you sort of see through now. I think a lot of you kind of can overlook things, see through certain things. Some of your struggles and some of the things that you've had to deal with in the past that you've overcome were not necessarily your fault. Not to put the blame on other things or people, but there could have been some deceit or you know, dishonest behavior, actions that were done towards you that sort of got you pulled into a situation that, you know, sometimes you can't avoid tough times. So I think that some of you have realized and learned a lot of lessons through that. Hopefully, you've also, part of becoming, or part of that success or that sense of achievement is also like due to forgiveness. So if there are other people or situations that did you harm, try to forgive that situation and move beyond that, move forward. Release that from yourself. Hierophant. There's your energy, Taurus. A Hierophant. And it's also a lot of teachings with that card, a lot of lessons, a lot of things that we've learned. I think that, again, it's also a part of our beliefs, a part of our spiritual growth. Our forgiveness, I think, would fall into that. You know, is it important to you? Let me get more, though. I want to understand why that came out, the Hierophant. Tell me about the Hierophant, please. Eight of Wands. Yeah, I think, Taurus, you're moving into a direction of really taking on the path that you truly want. I think it's also that you're moving forward in that approach. I think you want to see things in more of a spiritual path, of a place that comes from, I think it's just a higher source of realization, or a higher place, coming from a different place rather than maybe the old conventional ways that maybe you had once, you know, were approaching things in. I want to get one more. Just let me see something else here for a sec. Definitely moving forward and ahead in a, like I said, I think it's you're approaching your inner work, what you believe in. Yeah, Hangman in reverse. Well, I don't really read reversals too often, but I feel like you're moving past things that once held you back in life. You were maybe looking at things from maybe a lower vibration, if you want to say it like that, or a denser way of looking at things. You weren't seeing them from a higher perspective, okay? A more spiritual approach to things, seeing things a little bit differently. And I think that some of you, sometimes when we get stuck in situations or we struggle long enough, it's almost like certain people, they have to go through things in life. They have to struggle a certain length of time. For everyone, it's different, before they change their ways, before they start to have more faith. That's the word I'm missing, is faith. You're trusting things in a more faithful manner. You're putting more emphasis on your faith, on your spiritual path. And I feel like what that's doing is you're saying, you know, I'm kind of tired of being stuck in the past, or I need to move on from that. You've had some tough things here, but I need to move forward. You have success on the horizon for you in 2024. You want to see things from a different perspective. And I think that's where you're headed here. Okay. I don't know why this Hierophant, it is the major arcana. Well, no, now you've got the Hangman, but there's I think it's a lot of focus on yourself because it is Taurus energy, that card. And I feel like it is kind of highlighting itself here. Is there anything else here for the Hierophant? Empress. Yeah, this is your growth. This is how you see things from a higher perspective. This is your self-worth. This is the things that you're growing in, that you're developing. I think that, again, what is the Empress? She's a very unconditional, loving, forgiving, nurturing mother type energy. Someone who's done a lot of inner work in herself. She provides a lot of that unconditional love. Okay, so I think that you're coming from a different perspective moving forward. I think you've learned a lot of lessons and you're sort of starting to strive to grow in yourself. You're doing the work here. Okay, what else for Taurus 2024? Anything else? Let's ask about some of your relationships in love, okay? Let's see if there's any relationship information. What is going on in the love department or love life with Taurus for January first half? What is going on here? Queen of Swords. Again, the Star. Aquarius. You could be meeting or connecting with an Aquarius, but I feel you've got a lot of Aquarius air energy here. You have a Queen of Swords and the Star card, which represents Aquarius. I think a lot of you are getting real, you're getting truthful, you're sort of, you know what you want. 2024, I see this as a lot of growth for you guys, or at least in the first month, where you have a lot of this approach of, I need to come from a higher place, a different perspective of myself. I'm growing. You also are, part of you in connecting with that person is really truly finding your purpose. And I think that's what you're realizing. You're trying to say or realize, what is Taurus? Who am I? What am I? Where do I come from here? What's my purpose? So I feel like first and foremost, a lot of you are getting very, very honest with yourself. I think you're striving to understand your greatest purpose in this life, which I think is connecting to your spiritual path. And I feel here that you sort of have a sense of knowing. I feel like the Star card is a card of, keeping our wishes and our hopes and dreams alive. And I feel that you realize this, or you believe in this. You know that if I come from a very true place, if I come from the purpose that you're living, that you're coming from your truth, and you know what you want, you're sort of, that's aligning for you. That's where you're saying, then I should be able to identify when I meet somebody who is also on their purpose, on their path, who sees that greatness or the good that's taking place in this world. The Star card, humanitarian energy, somebody who has an outlook of positivity. And I feel like that's what you're trying to maybe align with, is the truth within yourself first, and within that other person, seeing things from that perspective. I want to see here what else is going on. Again, the Star card is a lot of healing. So you've done a lot of this work already, and that's what your goal is. Some of you could be heading into that direction. Maybe that is, part of your path or purpose is down the healing realm of things, whether that's personal healing or in the field or the arts of healing with yourself and other people. Tell us about this with Taurus. I guess these both want to come out. Judgment and Six of Swords. You've made a decision here, guys, 100%. Queen of Swords, the Judgment. You've made a decision to leave the past behind. You've made a decision that you are determined to get very, very clear in your life of what you want. No more, what is it? Who am I? What am I? What do I want? You're compromising back and forth. No more of that. You're moving into a place of pure clarity and calm. I think you're cutting through a lot of nonsense or bullcrap or cloud. You know, you're cutting through the stuff that it's sort of like, you're using your judgment in a good way, in a useful way, where you're like, if that person that I see and that I encounter in my life, that I can judge now. In a sense, I can judge if that person's on the right path. I can see if we're going to align. I can see if we have the same dream or a similar vision about our future, our outlook on life. And I feel like that's how you're going to know when somebody here has sort of moved past an old way of thinking, that old convention thing where people don't change sometimes, and you're looking for that person who is looking for change, who's looking to find a sense of honesty. Judgment card, Six of Swords, honesty and clarity, especially with the Star and the Queen of Swords. It's like all blue energy. Throat chakra is blue, speaking our truth. Somebody who you can communicate well with, somebody who makes decisions knows what they are, knows who they are. You can ask a question, they have a response. So it's knowing who they are. You're kind of cutting to the chase here, Taurus. You're kind of getting to the point. It's like, I know exactly what I'm about. I'm growing, I'm learning. That's an ongoing life process that you're still continuing to do, but you're on the right path of understanding who you are, which allows you to understand what you really want in your life from a partner, somebody who complements. I feel like you're looking for very similar characteristics, the same life path, the same purpose, somebody who has purpose. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do not have a spiritual path or who do not have a sense of purpose or what they're capable of creating in this world. And I feel like that's not for you. That's not what you're looking for. All right. Let's get a closing card for Taurus, and then I'm going to do your Wisdom of the Tao. Thanks in advance, everybody, for your likes, your shares. Don't forget to hit all those buttons for me, please. I appreciate that. Send a comment if you want. That's great. Share, subscribe, like. And Tower. What's the Tower about here? Why the Tower? Your world, your life, a situation has changed a lot. I don't want to jump ahead here, but what I'm getting from this is that it took some Tower moments here, Taurus, and I see that with some of the struggles and maybe the deceit and the stuff you had to go through to finally come out ahead and see the other side. The Tower also is like, certain things had to fall, certain things had to come to an end, certain things had to be shook in your life to grow, to change. Okay, it was like tear down and rebuild. There was a lot of things here, Taurus, that your foundation on certain things was maybe wobbly to begin with. Certain things were never quite stable. Maybe that's an old job, an old relationship, friendships, people, whatever that is. You're saying like you're allowing things to end, to fall out, to close out. This is something that you're okay with, in a sense, because you're moving into this new approach with things. So you see it for what it is. I think it's a level of acceptance, saying, hey, I can't stop things from ending. I can't control the outcome. I can only control my own decisions and myself. Eight of Swords. Yeah, I think that Taurus, you're in this place, like I said, when you come from a different perspective, from a higher self, a higher version of yourself, you're, forgiving situations as well. I think forgiveness is quite interesting, and there's a component here of that you are, embedding and putting into your daily practice, the way you see things. But I feel like you're not going to stay stuck any longer. You're not going to stay in situations that cause you a lot of anxiety or stress, or things that, trap you or make you feel like, if you can't see clarity, if you don't get clarity, if you don't get a sense of freedom or a sense of being able to fairly exchange energy or information or conversation or love or anything like that, I feel like if you're stuck in a situation that is just causing you mental anguish or stress, you're not trying to find the solution to fix other things except for those that you can control yourself. And I feel like that's what a lot of you tried to maybe leave behind, or that's what you used to do, because the Hierophant can be of that nature of like, trying to fix and change and teach and show lessons and show that sort of, maybe there's a level of pride, like look at me, look what I can help, look, I feel, so that people may like you, or whatever that may be. I feel like you've dumped that philosophy or that idea of like, if it's not something that I can change, if it's not something that applies to my life, that's your karma, Judgment card. That's the other person's karma. You're working on your own karma. If it's meant to fall apart, it's not for you to save. It's like a non-intervention or non-interference approach. Okay. I think that's something that was one of the bigger realizations that you have come to finally like accept, because acceptance seems to be the key here in that. If something is stressing you out, where you feel like you're trapped or you can't, then c'est la vie, as they say in French. Okay, let's do your wisdom of the Tao. You definitely will find yourself out of a scenario. I think you're taking responsibility for figuring out how do you remove yourself or find a solution or find your way out. But I think that you're not going to overthink. You're not going to oversave. You're not going to overanalyze. Your approach is like, I just want to be at peace. I just want to find the calm in my life. I will figure out what I need to do, and everything else around me has to figure out what it needs to do. You're not that teacher, the Hierophant. The higher power is the overseeing energy that will take care of other things in life. It's not for us to figure that out. I do see this woman here. Like, I think that there's prayer and meditation. That's part of that spiritual path, but I think that that's quite, that's something you're going to be bringing in a little more, is like the actual practice of prayer and meditation. Whatever faith you are, doesn't matter. It could be a simple prayer of, whatever that is for you. Prayer and meditation is something you're taking into your future. That's your way of releasing. That's your way of forgiving. When you can't forgive, you just say a prayer for that person, that they heal, that you heal, that kind of thing. Leaving things up to the higher power. Be flexible. Everything happens for a reason. There are many options out there. Perfection is an illusion. You can move forward even while going against the current. Particularity will divert you from your destination. So maybe that's something as well, Taurus. I know you guys are a fixed, you're an earth sign. Some people say you guys are the bull, we're not. Sometimes they can be very, certain on what they want. But flexibility is a little note here that's saying flexible and everything happens for a reason. I think that you guys are seeing that. I think that that's one of the acceptance. It's part of the acceptance. You're taking the bull by the horns for your life, not for other people. Everything happens for a reason. It's not something that I can change kind of thing, kind of approach. All right, Taurus, Happy New Year, guys. I want to wish everyone all the best. Thanks again for all your support, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.